And so on October 22nd, I was in a place where I was staying at the time. And thank you, Cornelius Rono, I've seen your comment. And I just put my Safaricom SIM card for 2 seconds because the vendor I was paying was prompting back to my Safaricom line. For 2 seconds, just putting the SIM card in and removing it. I'm telling you, within 2 hours, there was a lady who had come there. She kept pretending to scout. I don't know what. I think she must have coerced the watchman there to give her information and whatnot. The police arrived immediately and the cars were just moonlighting outside. And at around 10 minutes past 7, they pulled up. So they coerced the caretaker to come and knock the door because that was the only way I was going to open. I looked through the peephole and then I sensed, because the caretaker was not very warm as he normally is. I sensed that there's something. So they thought that the house was not open and I was opening, but I was getting my padlock and I went, I locked it. So when they opened, they could not feel it. And then they told me, Mr. Gaitho, we are here to take you. I told them, okay, give me a minute, I get ready. They told me, okay. Then I went to my bedroom and then they shouted. One of them shouted at me in Kikuyu. He told me, "Duge kirema udomashi your Twitter." In Kikuyu just says, "Don't tweet." Who is me? Think me I'm somebody to listen to cops? I put 3 tweets back to back. Then the big blogger started retweeting. Thank you very much. Cyprian Yakundi was one of the first to retweet. When I tweeted, all hell broke loose. They started shouting, "Ume tweet." Somebody from headquarters had called them and told them I've tweeted because they were not online. Ume tweet nini, they came with their spanners. Within 2 minutes, the door is broken. They got me, put me down. One of them was punching me. And I'm like, nini nimekukosea? Nimekukulia bibi? Nimekula demi yako? These guys, the anger they had, it was not normal. These guys, it's like they go to whoever has sent them. The guy radicalizes them, gives them money and tells them, because they were all angry, they were all on the edge. They were punching me like, yeah. And I'm like, Nini, am I a criminal? Am I a thief? Do you punch Didmas Barasa like that? Huh? Do you punch this Ruben Kiborek, the Baringo MP? The one who raped a minor, did you punch him like that? Why are you so angry at me? What do I owe you? What the fuck is wrong with these cops? Those guys were they were on hit, literally. Hey, amka, lala chini, amka. Va viatu, sivae viatu. Unatukosa heshima. Munapewa heshima nyinyi, kwanza mujipe heshima kwanza kabla mpewe muitishe heshima ya watu wengine. Mujipe heshima. So our judiciary now is dispensing court orders which are emboldening these police officers to pull up in a very brutal and violent manner. And that is why all of these abductions have been ongoing, because judiciary have been on the fence. So our axe to grind with the judiciary is not because of what and what. It's because they are silently enabling. Like now, my first warrant of arrest was issued by a terrorism court. For what? For tweets. For tweets. This is how your country is sinking day by day. God knows what is happening to the others who don't have a voice, who can't speak like me. And so once you see that DCI tweet and you are retweeting and you're laughing, you don't know how. I never thought, if you'd have asked me in May, that I would be dealing with such issues. I've been shooting content all my life. I've been making content. I was the first blogger in Kenya. Before even Akina Alai knew what internet was. I started making my first blog, which was a football blog called kenyafootball.com, in 2003. Ask the sports journalists, they'll tell you. And I've been blogging all my life. And if you ask me that we are going to get to a point where I am standing in front of a magistrate to defend my tweets. Jesus. I would have slapped you and told you this is fiction. This is a story you're cooking on my behalf or something. So they took me to Kamukunji the next day because I had 2 court cases. I went back to back. I went to this court and this other court. And I was released. From then on, I've been underground because these guys have pulled up on me 3 times. I knew the 4th time is going to be now. Now I'm going to be abducted for real. And I went underground, stopped using Safaricom at all, stopped doing what, stopped anything. Any hint that would direct them to me, I dropped it completely. And it is why we have been telling bloggers to stop bugging us, because we have given you the lowdown, because we have gone through it. When I tell you to drop your Safaricom, drop it. When I tell you to do this, don't trust X, Y, and Z individual. Don't. Because these are tried and tested formulas. We have correspondent with other people who have gone through the same thing. So now we know. Now we know what happens. Now we know who. We were talking about the protest the other day. You guys have been telling you about people and you think I'm just hating on them. Why do I hate Hanifa? Why should I hate her? She's not even my type. You know, I could bully somebody who I have a crush on. It's not even my type. But she stole Mchanga money. She's an agent. She's a whatever, a sellout in the movement. And so now on Monday the 30th, January 30th, that's when people started telling me, oh, we were running with Hanifa in the streets and her friend called Shakira, running from the cops, but they walked in Central Police Station and then they walked out. Other comrades were arrested inside. You are now connecting the dots yourself. Oh, we were with Polo Kemani, we were arrested, but somehow he sneaked from the cops. The stupidest idiot, north of Limpopo, south of the Sahara, Okia Omtata, pops out of nowhere, makes the protest about him. We even stopped talking about Kibet Bull. We have started talking about Kibet Bull today. Because all along, he came with a barrage of media. And all of them were just like, Omtata. We even thought about Kibet Bull. Please, Okia Omtata, if you're going to come for the next protest, because all Kenyans are welcome, please leave your media at home. We don't see you. Protest with other people. Nobody has an interest to see your bullshit. Okia Omtata, you have become such a liability to the cause. You and Boniface Mwangi, I don't know what interest you have to keep us suspended in a state of economic and financial and constitutional despair. What are you gaining, Okia Omtata? What are you gaining by working with Ruto to come and undermine the movement? Why are you giving so much joy? We try to shed you off, but you find a way to sit and meander in. We try to get rid of Hanifa. She still tries to find her way in. We tell Osama Otero we don't want him. He still finds a way of putting and trying to create his own schedule of protests. Is it the thrill? Because it can't be the money. You guys don't look like you have money. You know you can't hide money. You can't hide money. You guys don't look like you have money. And even if you did, it is your money does not help us, does not help anyone else. So why do you have an interest, Okia Omtata? What the f is wrong with you? I'm younger than you and I am questioning you. I have to tell you to use your common sense. Okia Omtata, we don't want you in the protests because you are hijacking and diverting attention from the actual cause. The cause on Monday was Kibet Bull and his comrades. You came there, turned it into a spectacle, turned it about yourselves. Now people are coming to see you in the police stations, and then you're following them. And then Morara and Hanifa have this more cockfight. They are fighting there, pretending they're arguing. All of those are hemorrhaging attention from the protests. So we are asking you, useless pieces of shit. We are asking you, Morara. We are asking you, Hanifa. We are asking you, Okia Omtata. We are asking you, Boniface Mwangi. What the f is wrong with you? What benefit do you have when you are undermining the movement? What joy are you deriving? You come there, we've convened protests. We are telling people it's about Tibet. You've come there with your cameras. The cameras, the media, they are so lazy, they are so stupid. They're media idiots. Instead of focusing what is happening with the protests in the back streets, everywhere else. Oh, okay, Omtata. Oh, who came to see him? Oh, PLO came to see him in the police station. Oh, Mother Karua has come. All the attention has moved from the actual people who are deserving to the celebrities. Now, can those celebrities and the famous people, can you be decent and honorable and gracious enough to just stay away? If you know that you are a magnet for these cameras, if you know that you are a magnet for these blogs, can you just stay away on Monday the 6th when we commence the Free Tibet Bull movement? Can you? Is it possible? Is it remotely impossible for you to set aside your personal ambitions, for you to stop thinking about 2027 because our current afflictions cannot be postponed, cannot be continued as we wait for your imaginary presidential bid? Can't you be gracious enough, Okia Omtata, for you to momentarily suspend your tribalistic ambitions of 2027? And you say, now it's all about Tibet Bull. Now it's all about the abducted boys. Now it's not me to come and try and score some few brownie points with the media. Okay, Omtata, we've been talking about your role in Tibet Bull's disappearance. There are many unanswered questions. Number one, he came to see you on December 24th. You only acknowledged it on December 25th, Christmas Day, after I tweeted, after I linked you to his disappearance. We cannot unsee that glaring evidence. We cannot, okay, Omtata. No. Me, I cannot. Other people can. Me, I can't leave you. You, I can't leave you. And then over and above that, you're coming to do stance in protest. Mokia Omtata siwezi kuacha. Cannot leave you. Tuko na wewe, bumper to bumper. Maybe you're even behind my judicial issues because I hear you have cartels here in the judiciary. You met him on December 24th. December 25th is when you acknowledged. December 27th is when now you released footage of the CCTV of the Subaru. So 36 hours to acknowledge that he was in your office, 72 hours to acknowledge and to start telling us that he was abducted, and we noted a suspicious Subaru which had one of those communication gadgets and surveillance gadgets on the rooftop. So you took all that time. Why? You should have made noise before. You should have made noise on December 24th. Maybe a lot could have been salvaged. Maybe we could have disrupted the people who had ill intentions. But you waited. And then now you go to court. Hey, I'm getting a court order. They have to be presented. We've been given they have to be presented in 7 days. Now, worst case scenario, if these boys have been murdered by Abel Rotich. Worst case scenario. Will those court orders bring them back to life? No. The only problem, the cops have gone ham on me. When I had an arrest warrant, there was one issued in August. They sat on it for 2 months until they came to arrest me in October. So 2 months. But this one, you can see it's dated 23rd, but they have published it today, January 2nd. Why? Because yesterday we unveiled somebody called, you had him, Abel Rotich. Abel Rotich, together with, he's a retired major. He had vied as a member of parliament in Soy constituency in 2017. He's working with a team. We were named, yesterday I named 2 KDF officers, not there in official capacity, working undercover. They are on the 21st floor of Cooperative Bank House. They are disguised as a South Sudan peace team, peace committee. So you're asking yourself, how can a South Sudan peace committee have all staffers hailing from the Nandi sub-tribe? You understand? These are the dots that these guys don't want us to connect. These are the questions they don't want to hear, because they think that we are living in a dictatorship. Now, if other people have resigned their fate into accepting the dictatorial nature of Kenya Kwisha shit is not me. Neither I know it's not you. That's why we are giving them problems on social media. Because now that the algorithms are freeing up and our messages can be heard, we no longer have the state-sponsored parrots dominating the narrative. Now we have very many people who can question whatever information they throw at us. And so I was tweeting earlier, I was saying, the only reason why these guys call cops on us, the only reason why they call cops on us, it is because we have outdone them, we have outshined them in the game of banter. Now, Akina David D, because they are the apex of the propaganda period. David D, Hussein Mohammed, Dennis Itumbi. Because we have outdone them and outshined them in banter, then they call the cops on us. They call the cops on us. They are like those kids who used to be bullies the first boy. A guy comes, says, tuanze mchongoano, mukianza mchongoano hivi, the guy goes and tells the teacher. The moment he starts seeing that they are losing ground. That is it. You are unable to manage banter. You have been given a job to handle us for banter. You are unable. Now you call the cops to kill us. How shady can you be? You're very entitled pricks. You are even incompetent. Even in simple things like banter, you have to resort to using police force, police brutality to try. If you silence me, you think there is nobody. You think the people who listen to me do so because they are coerced? No, it is all voluntarily because it's a battle of wits. I present my views, you present your views. The plenary makes their own independent assessment. Now, if they seem to gravitate towards my theory, then you shouldn't feel bad. You should work on your presentation. Perhaps it's the language. Perhaps it's the, mediocrity. You guys have embedded mediocrity. It is embedded in your DNA. You are the custodians of malfeasance. So just because we have outdone you, we have outshined you in the field of spin, in the field of banter, now you resort to underhand tactics. Let me tell you, useless pieces of shit, the Kenya Kwisha shit show. I was never an activist. I used to do football. That was my life. Until now, you guys got into office, and then every day it was like insulting our intelligence. Every day. And so we had to start from scratch. We had to start doing civic education. And we have done it for long. For 2 years. But 2 years, you guys were so busy. You guys were high on life. You guys were traveling, living la vida loca. It was just hood rats, Dubai, everything. Up until June 25th happened, that's when, oh my God, you mean, oh, people don't love me anymore. The people don't want my stories anymore. That's when you got a shocker. But the civic education started in 2022 when you guys got into office. We've already finished that phase. Everyone now knows you cannot overturn it. You cannot undo it. Because knowledge and information is power. Once somebody has acquired it, it is difficult for you to return them to where they have been, to the dungeons of darkness and political ambiguity prevalent in the modern era. So that one, everyone already knows. Everyone already understands where our problem is. That's why when you are trying to push the tribalism narrative, it is not going through, because this thing, 2 years when you guys were just banjukaing, you were just traveling, twende hapa, twende huku. It was just city to city. You guys were barely in Kenya. Ruto was barely in Kenya. Guys were doing civic education. Guys were huko bunge la wananchi. Guys were where? Guys were here, everywhere, through social media. So you guys, last minute, when Raila is coming in, now he's turning it into a Kikuyu Luo affair, and then he marshals his propagandists. He sees Gabriel Oguda. He gets Seth Dikembe. Dikembe, you saw him there telling me, I have been in the hallway fighting for your right. Dikembe, what have you? You have never even been to court. You are just a yapper on social media. You guys have never been even in streets for ODM protests. You've just been taking credit for other people's work. And so this year has been the year of debunking myths. 2024, sorry. Because for long they had perpetuated the myth that Raila is the only person who can convene maandamano in Kenya. Pole kwako. We even had a useless bastard called Boniface Mwangi and his idiotic kokaka friend called Osama Otero saying, protests cannot happen in Nairobi without us. Please, our anger cannot be franchised, cannot be conceded to other people. Your anger is not my anger, but we all have our collective vision that we all know how William Ruto has shafted us, has screwed us. You are employed, you know how much your taxes are going to be. They are going to be soaring on the 49% range. The mamambogas, they know. The bodabodas, they know. Everyone knows mahali Ruto amekufinyia. So my anger is not transferable. My anger cannot be postponed, or my pursuit for justice cannot be postponed. I cannot wait for you because you think you're the custodian, you think you're the activist, you're the shit, that I have to wait until the day. And so that now we get a culmination of another June 25th moment, and you now, at the touch of a fingertips, you now tell people, go home, which is what Boniface Mwangi did on June 25th. Go home. And you being cows, you went home. You being livestock that you are. All you needed to do was to sacrifice another 24 hours. Ruto was gone. But no, that was a tall order. That was too much to ask. My bed is calling. They were coming for you, smoking you out from your homes. You're the right people. I saw you on 31st. You are on the roundabout. Why didn't you march to CBD? You marched to CBD, man. Kericho people, I saw you on the road. Beautiful scenes. I saw Kisii people on the road. I told you, why didn't you march to your governor's house? Why didn't you march to your MP's house? Why, if you know your MP is a bootlicker of Kenya Kusha shit show, you should have marched there. So this model of protesting that Boniface Mwangi has planted in your minds, that you have to protest with a timetable and then beba simu imagine a flag. Una beba simu imagine a flag, a fucker who is coming with guns. They're coming with a water cannon. They're coming with tear gas. No! You carry pepper spray. You carry your taser. You carry your knuckle, that chuma unaeka kwa knuckle. If a DCI fucker gets you in the streets, you punch it. There's a young kid I've been sharing his video there. He's been talking about making Molotov cocktails. You should be watching that video. If it was an illegal video, TikTok would have pulled it down. But these are the tools. Because we cannot rely on diplomacy, because we are not dealing with diplomatic people. Are they abducting us diplomatically? Are they stealing money diplomatically? Are they ruining our opportunities and future diplomatically? In fact, they are stealing, they are abducting, they are doing all sorts of things under the sun, and they still have the audacity to, when they get the microphone, to insult us. Over and above, rubbing salt on the wound. And so you think diplomatically we are going to have an amicable resolution? No, it's time to go the militant way. Would Kenya be an independent state if the Mau Mau did not adopt a militant approach? It was Mau Mau's militancy that triggered even calls for independence in other African countries. It had inspired. And those days we didn't have even the radio or the social media and everything. But people would still get the information. So when you go to the streets, your work is not following Okia Umtata, talking his bullshit, singing his nonsensical songs that he's been singing for the past 15 years. Your work is not going to look for Boniface Mwangi where they are. Your work is not going to look for Hanifa. Your work is not going to look for Shakira. Your work is to be in the back streets, not chasing the media there. You want to be seen because you think some donor exists somewhere to give you money, donor money. Now we need to build our own economic reserves. Ramp up our pension. We can do it. We have the money. We cannot rely on handouts given to activists. So your work is to be in the back streets, engaging police in running battles. And I've told you the citizen to police ratio is so bad that if we have you downtown, another one there, another, they'll be so stretched. You'll have circled them. You'll have commandeered them to surrender, to lay down their arms. tie their hands and frogmat them because they are few. But all of you, if you go to one place, are you crazy? Go to downtown, engage them in running battles, light a fire, block the road so that their cars cannot pass, set them up for trap. Once they get into a trap, boom, kaboom, you know what to do. Cocktails, get them mixologists. Have a mixologist amongst you. We have to go militant because these guys, have you seen what they've done to the kids? They're abducting them. Did you see the CCTVs when they were picking up Peter Moteti from, the guy didn't have time to speak. Did you hear NTV last night where they had somebody narrating that they rocked into his house, assuming that he's Kibet Bull. They went and woke him and his wife in bed. How disgusting is that? And then they woke up the kids. The kids are crying. His wife is almost collapsing. She could not even breathe. It was on NTV. Did you see a church in Nyandarua? They were lobbed for tear gas. It was giving Kiamba 2007. The way people were burnt in a church. That is the direction we are all heading. If you don't do something about it. So when we get to Monday and we are protesting, I don't want to hear some stupid business people saying ati maandamano inatuharibia biashara. Wewe buongea hivyo tena. Wewe fungua kazi Monday uone. Fungua kazi kama wewe umetahiriwa. Maandamano inatuharibia kazi. Maandamano inatuharibia kazi. Umbwa wewe. Let me tell you, your economic prosperity, your money, your sales, your turnover will not begin where my lack of freedom, lack of economic prosperity, my court cases begin, or my freedoms end. So your prosperity will not begin where my freedoms end. Please get that in your thick heads, you business people. You seem to imagine that the Kenyan economy is built on those idiots who import shit from China, and they are the ones who've been holding us hostage, telling us we should not pursue our civic duties because they have to make money. Musituambie hivyo tena. And this is a collective sacrifice. This is a collective sacrifice that we are all going to make. The business people, the activists, we want you to transcend your parochial interests, your cannibalistic agenda. We want you to stay aside. We don't want you to hog the limelight. We don't want you to speak on our behalf. You have spoken for 15 years. We have not seen any yields. Within the last 15 years that Okiya Omtatah and Boniface Mwangi have been activists, with the same period that we have seen a degeneration, we have seen a regression in our fundamental constitutional and human rights. We have seen economic decay. Yet they have still been activists in the same duration. So your strategy has been tried and it has been tested and it has proven that it is a failure. So can you just be decent and honorable enough to now not turn protest to be about your fucking selves? Nobody cares. Nobody gives a shit about you, Boniface Mwangi. Nobody gives a shit about you, Okiya Omtatah. Can you now step aside and stop hogging the media limelight? Can you stop bringing your paid journalists to just focus on you and not the protesters, not the cause that is being championed at the day? Is it too difficult? Is it too much to ask, you useless piece of shit called Okiya Omtatah? Is it too much to ask, you useless bastard, you traitor called Boniface Mwangi? You guys are disgusting. We are trying to map our future and you are thinking how you're going to cash in. You want to turn the protest to be about yourself so that you can make money, so that you can sell out people, so that they can be abducted and killed. How narcissistic do you have to be to derive joy? Now you are seeing now is phase 2. Now we can cash in again. As if we have not been talking. As if we have not been alerting each other about your treachery. Okiya Omtatah, you have not provided a conclusive explanation of the contents of the discussion of your meeting with Kibet Bull. You're just meandering. You're just meandering, writing long statements, long-winded missives. Hey. Those are called cock and bull stories, Mr. Okiya Omtatah. Tell that to the birds. Tell that to the birds. We are here mapping a new future. We are here because we want shared prosperity. What we have is planned poverty. And you are just thinking, what's the best thing I can do? Oh, I want to be the president in 2027. Wait for 2027. Let's postpone our aspirations. Let's postpone our desire for good governance. Let's wait for 2027. And so every day I'm being met with all these tweets. People are saying, oh, Francis, you're dividing people. We need all the firepower. We need all the people that we can. No, we don't. We were hundreds of thousands in CBD on June 25th. Did it yield anything? No. We just had some stupid kids storming into parliament and eating pilau. So we need few focused, intentional, purpose-driven people to take this journey forward. Because if the most of you are listening to Okia Omtata and Boniface Mwangi and Hanifa, surely you are as good as useless. You people cannot help us. You cannot take us to the next level. But we need people who can push us forward. Because as you've seen the headline of this tweet, the dark days are back. We are living. We are now in the thick of them. Those days you used to hear Mwakea, it was journalists, it was what? It was the intellectuals, it was creatives who are being pursued and tattered. That is where we are right now. And this sleep has not been instant. It has been gradual. It has been entertained by your media, by your activists, by your who. Until now, we have said enough is enough. We've said enough is enough. And the biggest problem, our biggest undoing, I swear to God, has not been William Ruto. I swear it has been the internal saboteurs. I've spent more energy, more time, more everything just dealing with the internal saboteurs, which is why I'm telling you, you have to move correctly. Even if you move with numbers and half of you are infiltrated, then you're going nowhere. We must move correctly, which is what the fathers of the second liberation, they started in the 90s agitating for the clamor for multi-party democracy. And so they onboarded everyone depending. They did not want to vet people. Are you a sellout? Are you a who? And so now when it came to elections in 1992, of course, first of all, Moi repealed Section 2A of the Constitution, and which had declared Kenya a one-party state. So he repealed it. Now it became a multi-party democracy. And Moi, so for me to comply with donor demands, let me just do this, and then I'll manipulate people from inside. So they onboarded everyone and created this giant Forum of Restoration Democracy, FORD, which had, amongst other people, Jaramogi, Matiba, everyone, until now Moi started playing the divide and rule. Their numbers cumulatively could have toppled more in 1992. But now they were split. So Jaramogi started his own Ford Kenya. Whatever. Kenneth Matiba started his own Ford Asili. All these other guys, it was a split. Then Mwai Kibaki came with the Democratic Party. Everyone, like that. And so their objectives, because they were so warped on removing Moi, as opposed to moving correctly, they had already given a lot of clout to these clowns who had been sellouts from the jump. Fast forward to 1997. Hey, what? Now there was even a meeting in Thika, at Thika Municipal Stadium, overseen by Manasseh Kuria. They were trying to unify, I don't know what. And there was what, but they failed to see the sellouts within them. So they embraced Raila Odinga. He came, he was splitting votes with his National Democratic Party, NDP, and what. It was just a vote splitting game, tribalism. Then immediately, because Raila had served Moi, then he was co-opted in government of Nusu Mkate, and he killed his own party, NDP, to become the Secretary General of KANU. But these guys had embraced him because of that illusion that we are all together. No, we are not together. I cannot be together with Boniface Mwangi. Boniface Mwangi is a snake. He's everywhere. He's with Bill Gates. He's with Ruto. He's there. His hands are everywhere because he has so many favors to return. So I cannot be on the same table with him, because if I was to be killed, I wouldn't be killed by a state-sponsored blogger. Is this person who is pretending to be a friend? That's the one I am most scared of. I don't mind. I can have a drink with state-sponsored bloggers because their loyalties have already been made public. But these ones who are here, who are there, Bonnie is with Bill Gates, then he's with Ruto, then you're seeing him at a meeting with Felix Koskei, then you're seeing he's so everywhere. You don't know where his loyalties lie. You don't know where he stands. That's the guy I wouldn't have a drink with myself.